Hello everybody, welcome to my video. Today I am excited about showing you a workflow that combined Power Query and Microsoft VBA to automate a data entry job. This is an actual running tool in a company which I have created to save significant amount of time. As you see, this carries real world data. So without a further ado, let's look into it and see what has happened there, what is all about it. Okay, now let's define our problem first. I have a sheet called cut plan. It has dates, it had certain data here, and definitely it has dates. First, you will have to focus on unique entity here. We call it schedule number. This is the unique reference to both data tables. So there is another sheet called production plan. So this is it. Again, if you look at it, it again has this schedule number entity, right? So what I am going to do is, what my colleagues did was, they took the first schedule number and look it up in the production plan and filter it, Control V, Control C, Control V. Now they have tracked the schedule number and found out where this production quantity planned. Now it is planned on 16th of August. What they are going to do is, if you want to produce it on 16th of August, you will have to cut it 2 days prior. So what they have done is, they have to copy this value to 13th of August. So what they were doing is, just copy this number, come back to their sheet, cut plan sheet, and try to track that August 13th. Where is it? Here it is. Now they have to paste it. Unfortunately, when they were pasting it, August 13th seemed to be a Sunday, right? August 13th, sorry, Sunday. That means you can't paste it there. So you will have to paste that to Saturday and finish the work. Likewise, you will have to do this iteration for all these schedules. They have been doing it for weekly exercise. So you can imagine the time they have been spending doing this data entry part. So what I did was, I have created a macro and I have created a workflow to automate this, and what they have to do right now is just go to macros and run this macro. It is automatically, you can see it has been automatically pasted by looking at these holidays and removing all these cumbersome data entry work. So this is what I did, and I am going to take you through all these steps so that you can also create similar type of automation to improve your work. Let's get to it. First, we will go into planning on this, creating these type of workflows, how we are going to plan it, and then we will look at the solution. Now, I have two objectives to achieve here. First one is paste the production plan quantities into my cut plan, offsetting 2 days. Second one is, when I am going to paste it, I have to skip the holidays and paste them on the right date based on these schedule numbers. And for first part, I have used Power Query. In order to use Power Query, I have created the single file and get my production plan pasted into the same sheet as cut plan here. So I have just copied this into this table and I have created a data table. We have been speaking about data tables in earlier videos, and if you like to know more about tables, you may look at my other videos. So first I have copy and pasted my production plan here. Then I am going to create a Power Query so that I will be able to transform this data, because if you look at these dates and quantities, it is really hard to find these numbers. See, there are a lot of zeros, there are the numbers, then it is very difficult to track them down. Let's say if you want to see it, I'll show you a quick thing before we go into the next step. Let me do some formatting so that we will be able to skip these zeros. See, now you will have only the numbers here, so that will make it easier for you to find these numbers. However, now our objective is to uh, find out the exact date skipping holidays, right? Now what I have done is I have make it a Power Query. Now I am going to create a quick Power Query out of it and show you how do I did that, right? Now let me show you. As you can see, I have loaded my details into this chart. All right, it is being loaded. Now you can see my details are here, and it is being loaded. Now secondly, what I want to do is, now you can see I have dates and all these quantities appear here. So what I want to do is, first I want to select shift right arrow key. I'm going to select everything up to my dates. See, I have selected up to here, and I am going to transform it to vertical table based on this data. Let me show you how. Transform, unpivot other columns. See what has happened now. You can see there are lots of rows are appearing, repeating the same detail, and you will be able to see that. The second thing is, I am going to filter zeros, because I don't want zeros here, because there is no value in these cells. Next part is, now in attribute column we have dates. Here it's shown as a text, so I am going to convert them to a date. Let me show you how. Date type, I am going to make them a date. See, now we have dates, right? Now if I am going to load it, you will see now I have prepared my data for next step. All right, now I have dates, now I have the values, and if I am going to load it, I am going to click close and load. So you can see we have this data appearing here. The next step, now I want to offset 2 days and I want to get the new date. For that matter, I am going to add another column here. I am calling it days. I am going to add another column. I am calling it a date. Okay, now first I am going to add my 2 days. I am going to add minus because I want 2 days earlier to this production date. Alright, now if I get this date plus this date, I'll be getting a date, right? Now, what if these dates carry a holiday? Then I have a problem. So for that matter, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a different formula. For that, before I proceed, I have to create another table I have created for me earlier. It calls holidays, right? I created this table and I have inserted my holidays in here. Alright, now what I am going to do is I am going to use that different formula. It calls workday. Workday international, I am going to use it. Start date would be production date and number of days minus 2 days, and my weekend would be Sunday only, so I'm selecting that. And now I'm going to choose additional holidays. Sunday anyway closed, and I'm going to choose this table. You can see. Now if I close the brackets, we can see there is a date coming up. So if there is a date, let me show you putting let's say fake holiday here, whether this get updated. So what I'm going to do is I'm making 8:15 a holiday. Let's call it 8:15 a holiday. Let's see what has happened. See, it has moved another day. If I remove this, it will be 13th again, 14th again. See, these dates are jumping according to the holidays table. So now first part is done. Now it is very easy for us once we copy this production plan. If we refresh it, you will be able to get to this stage very quickly every day. So my colleagues have to they have to copy paste the production plan in that sheet and refresh this, and these two formula columns will help them identify the date that they need to copy. So now first part is done. Now we are going into our VBA part to copy and paste these based on this date and this value get copied, and then we have gone into our cut plan and pasted on the respected date. So let's get into the VBA part. If you have any question or if you have any doubts regarding the Power Query and how I unpivot things, how do I make the filtration, if you have any queries, do ask me and I'll be happy to help you with these queries.